Challenge Yourself, Heather Perkins.
I'm sorry, Heather, but I'm not going to be able to speak at the meeting tomorrow, 2 days' time, next week, whenever, because I don't have time to write a speech. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, this is an excuse I hear all too often as Vice President of Education. People telling me that they don't have enough time to write a speech, even though in most cases they've known up to 8 weeks in advance that they were going to be speaking on a particular date. Saying that you don't have enough time to write a speech is just an excuse. How many of you are working on your next speech? We should all be working on our next speech, and we should actually be working on several speeches. You should always have several speeches on the go that can be in different stages of preparation. The first stage is just getting an idea. I have started writing down ideas when I get them. Now, for those of you who like to do things electronically, you can always make notes on your phone, or with some phones, you can even record your ideas. I happen to like the old-fashioned method of writing things in a notebook. So I have a notebook that's dedicated to speech ideas. Sometimes all that I've written down is a word or a phrase, something that just will jog my memory about a potential speech idea. Sometimes when I jot down the phrase, I may jot down a few other items that go with it. Alternatively, I go back to this when I'm thinking about a particular topic I've put down, and I jot down some ideas. If it's something that requires research, when I have the opportunity to do some research on it, I can do it, and then I can make my notes in here. Then when it becomes time to speak, I have the basis of a speech. I just have to take those ideas and look at them and decide how I'm going to organize them. I challenge you to challenge yourself to have different speeches in different stages all the time. If you do that, you won't be one of those people who's letting your Vice President of Education know that you don't have enough time to write a speech. You will notice perhaps that I talked about writing a speech when I said people call me and say, I don't have enough time to write a speech. You don't necessarily have to write a speech. You should prepare for your speech. But that does not mean writing it out word for word. Writing a speech can actually become a crutch. We think, oh, we have to be perfect when we give our speech. We continually tell people that Toastmasters is a safe place to fail. But we don't want to fail. We want to be perfect. Most of us learn more from our mistakes than from the things that we do really, really well. By making a mistake because we're trying something, we're stepping outside of our comfort zone. We're expanding our horizons. We're taking a chance. Your speech doesn't need to be perfect. in Toastmasters. Even with a speech contest speech, you can do it the first time, not in a contest, to get that feedback. Randy Harvey, who is a world champ, said that what he would do with his speeches is give it at the club without having written it, record it, and then transcribe it and work from there. That way he's working from the written word or the spoken word rather than the written word. But he didn't worry about being perfect that first time. He used it as an opportunity to learn. Think about the fact that we say often about having 3 stories or 3 ideas. Do you know what that is? That's 3 table topics. Each one of us is capable of doing a table topic without having to have it written down. Think of your speech as 3 table topics. You don't then need to write it all down. Organize it in your head. People will often say, oh, Heather doesn't write her speeches as though I don't prepare my speeches. I prepare my speeches because I'm always thinking about those topics that I've written down in my notebook. I think about various approaches, what would be the best opening, how I could wrap it up, what other information I might need to make this an effective speech. That's preparation, completely different from writing. It gives me the flexibility that when I'm presenting it, if I think something needs to be changed, I can change it because I'm not married to words on a paper. I offer you another challenge. In addition to challenging yourself to have different speeches in different stages, challenge yourself to not write your next speech. Take that idea, write down some thoughts, organize it, prepare it in your head. Challenge yourself. Mr. Toastman.